There's something quietly familiar that happens to many of us after we turn 65. You finish lunch, the house grows quiet, and then it comes. That subtle wave of drowsiness. Your eyes feel heavy, your body slows down, and without even meaning to, you find yourself drifting off for a nap. Sometimes it's just 10 minutes. Other times you wake up not knowing what time it is. You wonder, was that normal? Am I just tired? Or is something wrong with me? This small habit, the midday nap, often stirs quiet questions in the minds of older adults. Is it a sign of aging? Is it a healthy reset? Or is it something we should be concerned about? Because while some say napping is good for the heart, others warn too much daytime sleep could mean cognitive decline. So which is it? The truth is, napping after 65 is not as simple as it seems. It's not just about feeling sleepy. It's about what your body is trying to tell you, and whether your nap is healing or hiding something deeper. We don't talk about this enough. We often joke about Grandpa falling asleep in his chair or needing a snooze after lunch. But beneath those little naps may lie stories of loneliness, chronic fatigue, medication effects, or changes in the aging brain. On the other hand, napping can also be a powerful way to refresh the mind, boost memory, and calm a nervous system that's been carrying too much for too long. It all depends on how and why you nap. As we age, our bodies whisper to us in new ways. What used to feel effortless, staying alert, sleeping through the night, feeling sharp by afternoon, starts to shift quietly, often without warning. And one of the most noticeable changes for many after 65 is the growing pull of sleep in the middle of the day. You might be wondering, why am I suddenly sleepy at 2 p.m. when I used to power through until dinner? The answer lies in the natural transformation of our sleep-wake cycle, known as the circadian rhythm. As we grow older, our circadian rhythm becomes less robust. Melatonin, the hormone that helps us feel sleepy at night, is produced in smaller amounts. And because our nighttime sleep often becomes lighter and more fragmented with age, we don't feel as rested when we wake up in the morning. The result? Our body looks for little ways to fill in the gaps, and naps become one of them. But there's more. After 65, the architecture of sleep changes. We spend less time in the deepest, most restorative stages of sleep, and more time in lighter stages. That means we're more vulnerable to waking up from small noises, discomfort, or even thoughts. So, again, by midday, the brain wants a chance to recover. For some, napping becomes a natural response to these internal changes. And when done gently and intentionally, a short nap can give the brain the reset it's looking for. But here's the important part. Not all naps are created equal. Sometimes the desire to nap isn't coming from sleep needs at all. It could be a sign of boredom, a side effect of medications, a symptom of low mood or early cognitive changes. Other times, it's your body saying, I'm trying to rest because I'm not recovering well at night. That's why the real question isn't just, should I nap? But rather, what is my nap trying to tell me? In the next part, we'll dive into the surprising ways a well-timed nap can improve your memory, reduce stress, and even help your heart if you know how to use it the right way. Now that we understand why your body craves rest during the day, let's talk about what a well-timed nap can actually do for you. Because here's the truth. When used wisely, a nap is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're listening to your body and giving it a small window to restore, recharge, and reset. So, what are the real benefits of napping after 65? Let's begin with your memory. As we age, we often notice little slips, forgetting names, misplacing items, repeating stories. But did you know that even a 20-minute nap can help strengthen what scientists call memory consolidation? It's the brain's way of filing what you've learned, heard, or seen, so it doesn't get lost in the noise. A short nap gives your brain a quiet space to do that important work. It's like hitting save on your mental desktop. And then there's stress. That invisible weight many older adults carry without saying a word. The worry about loved ones, the lingering grief, the uncertainty of tomorrow. A calming nap, especially one taken in a peaceful space, can gently lower stress hormones like cortisol. It slows the heartbeat, quiets the mind, and allows your nervous system to come out of alert mode, even if just for a few minutes. And what about your heart? Research shows that regular short naps, we're talking 15 to 30 minutes, can actually reduce the risk of heart disease. Why? Because they help lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and give your heart a chance to relax in a world that rarely slows down. But here's the beautiful part. It's not just your brain or your heart or your nerves. It's the you that returns after a good nap. Clearer, softer, more able to face the rest of the day with patience. That's the real gift. It's not just about energy. It's about reclaiming the gentle version of yourself that sometimes gets lost in fatigue. Not all naps are created equal. Some are gentle, healing pauses in the day, but others, they carry a different weight. Sometimes, a nap isn't about refreshing the body. It's about escaping something deeper, a tiredness that doesn't go away, a fog that doesn't lift, a silence that begins to worry you. So how do you know when a nap might be a sign of something more serious? Start by asking yourself, do I wake up feeling better or more confused? A healthy nap usually ends with a light feeling, like your mind has been gently cleared. But if you wake up groggy, disoriented, or emotionally off balance, your body may be telling you that something's not right. Also notice the frequency. Is your nap becoming a daily need, not just a habit? Are you falling asleep without intending to, on the couch, at the table, in mid-conversation? This kind of sleepiness, the kind that overtakes you, could be your brain trying to cope with poor nighttime sleep, or even an early sign of cognitive changes. And there's something else. When naps start to replace your nighttime sleep, that's a red flag. If you find yourself staying awake until late because you napped too long during the day, and then feeling exhausted again the next afternoon, you may be trapped in a cycle that gradually erodes your overall sleep quality. Sometimes these changes happen slowly. You tell yourself, I've just been tired lately. You brush it off. But deep down, something feels different. It's not about fearing the worst, it's about noticing. Because in older adults, excessive daytime sleepiness can be connected to sleep apnea, which often goes undiagnosed, depression, especially in those who feel isolated, medication side effects, or early changes in brain health. And the body is wise. It won't always tell you in words, but it will show you in patterns, in timing, in how you feel after rest. So if your naps are getting longer, deeper, and harder to wake from, if you're falling asleep in situations where you didn't mean to, or if your mind feels cloudy more often than clear, please don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor. Bring it up gently with someone you trust. You are not being dramatic, you are being attentive, and that matters. So you've decided that a nap might help, not hurt. That's good. But the truth is, how you nap matters just as much as whether you nap at all. When done right, a nap can refresh the brain, restore your mood, and gently carry you through the rest of the day. When done wrong, it can leave you feeling groggy, disoriented, and wide awake at midnight. So let's talk about how to nap the right way, especially after 65, when sleep rhythms are more fragile. First, the golden rule. Keep it short. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes. That's the sweet spot. It's long enough to calm your nervous system, but not so long that you drift into deep sleep and wake up in a fog. Once you pass 40 minutes, your body may enter a deeper sleep cycle. If you're woken during that phase, you'll feel worse, not better. Second, time it wisely. Nap between 1 and 3 p.m. after lunch, but before the late afternoon. This aligns with your natural circadian rhythm, when your body naturally dips in energy. Napping too late in the day, say 5 or 6 p.m., can interfere with your ability to fall asleep at night. Third, create a gentle space. You don't need to crawl into bed and pull the covers over your head. That might trick your body into thinking it's bedtime. Instead, choose a quiet, comfortable chair. Dim the lights. Maybe play soft instrumental music or nature sounds. Let your body know this is rest, not escape. Fourth, avoid screens right before your nap. Phones, tablets, and TVs overstimulate your brain, making it harder to wind down. Give yourself at least 10 minutes of screen-free time before closing your eyes. And finally, don't force it. If you lie down and sleep doesn't come, that's okay. Sometimes just resting your body and breathing deeply is enough to calm your mind. The goal isn't to achieve sleep. It's to give your body permission to pause, without judgment, without pressure. You've earned that pause. Sometimes what starts as a gentle rest turns into the very thing that steals your energy. Not because naps are bad, but because we often nap the wrong way without realizing it. Let's look at a few of the most common mistakes older adults make when napping and how to gently avoid them. Mistake 1. Sleeping too long. It's tempting to let yourself sleep for an hour or more, especially on days when you feel drained. But long naps can backfire. They throw off your internal clock, making it harder to fall asleep at night. Worse, they can leave you waking up in what doctors call sleep inertia, that groggy, heavy-headed feeling that's hard to shake. It's not more rest, it's deeper confusion. Mistake 2. Napping too late in the day. If your nap happens after 4 p.m., it begins to overlap with your body's preparation for nighttime sleep. This confuses your brain, delays melatonin release, and can lead to restlessness at bedtime, or worse, staying up into the early morning hours. The cycle continues. Tired in the day, alert at night. Mistake 3. Turning naps into escapes. Sometimes we nap not because we're sleepy, but because we're sad, lonely, overwhelmed. We use naps to numb ourselves, to pass time, to avoid what's quietly aching inside. But that kind of sleep rarely restores you, because the tiredness isn't in your body, it's in your heart. And when the heart is weary, sleep doesn't solve it. Mistake 4. Napping in poor posture. Falling asleep in a stiff chair, head tilted, or with the TV still blaring in the background may lead to physical strain, neck pain, back pain, and fragmented sleep. Rest should feel like kindness to your body, not just absence of movement. Mistake 5. Believing you shouldn't nap at all. On the flip side, some people feel guilty for napping, as if it's laziness or a sign of weakness. But after 65, your body has been through decades of work. It deserves grace. And sometimes grace looks like a 20-minute pause in a quiet room. The key isn't to avoid naps. It's to avoid harmful naps, the ones that steal more than they give. And remember this. How you feel after a nap tells you everything. If you rise lighter, calmer, clearer, you're doing it right. In our final part, we'll talk about what waking from a good nap should feel like, and how to create a daily rhythm that restores you instead of draining you. There's something quietly beautiful about waking from a nap that truly heals, not just the body but the spirit too. It doesn't feel like waking up from a deep sleep. It feels like coming home to yourself. Your thoughts are calmer, your breath is slower, the world feels less heavy. That's how a restorative nap after 65 should feel. Not groggy, not guilty, not disoriented, but gently renewed. And this peace, if nurtured carefully, can carry into your evening, helping you approach dinner time, sunset, and even sleep itself with more balance and grace. Because after a day that honors your needs, your night responds with deeper rest. The cycle begins to heal. But here's what matters most. Taking a nap doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise. It means you've learned to listen to your body's whispers instead of waiting for it to scream. And that wisdom, the kind that lets you rest without guilt, is one of the most powerful forms of strength in this stage of life. So the next time you feel that wave of drowsiness come upon you, don't push it away in shame. Pause, allow, breathe, and rest. Not because you're giving up on the day, but because you're giving yourself back to it. Fully present, fully restored. And if this message touched something in you, if it reminded you that rest is not something to apologize for, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Have naps helped you feel more balanced? Or are you still trying to figure out what your body needs? Let's create a space here, where older adults can talk honestly about rest without judgment or fear. Because healing begins when we feel heard. And if you'd like more gentle guidance like this, don't forget to follow Golden Pathways. Together, we're redefining what aging feels like, one quiet, powerful moment at a time.